Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Matthew Prince, and I'm running for Mr. GT for the 2017-2018 school year. Today, I'm going to share with you why I am a proud member of the Georgia Tech community and what being a Mr. GT candidate means to me. To start off, let me take you back to when I was a high school senior applying for colleges. As a high school senior, I applied to mostly in-state schools, as I knew of the amazing opportunity I had to stay in-state with the Hope Scholarship and the incredible institutions in my backyard. When I applied to Georgia Tech, I completed my application for early action to try to help with my college decision, as I did not truly know what I wanted to do yet. When December came around, I received a letter that I had been deferred from Georgia Tech, and I would be added into the general applicant pool. Though I was slightly deterred, I was confident in my high school experiences, test scores, and application. In the deferred application, I was asked why Georgia Tech was the right fit for me. Recently, when applying for Mr. GT, I went back to read what I had written in this essay. In summary, I had mentioned why I believed Georgia Tech was the perfect institution for me. I state that Georgia Tech provides an excitement of an NCAA Division I school, some city life, highly desired internships and co-op opportunities, numerous service activities, and a knowledgeable staff. And I end with, at Georgia Tech, I will take full advantage of my time at the school with leadership positions, participation in club and service activities, and in intramural sports. In the future, I hope to be recognized as a Georgia Tech graduate who has brought honors and awards to the school. Since I was accepted to Tech, I have lived by these goals to contribute to the Georgia Tech community. As a freshman coming to Georgia Tech, I had high hopes and expectations for the school and how my potential could blossom. I decided to join a social Greek organization on campus, which ended up being the springboard for my involvement at GT. I met two very influential figures in my life that guided me into the network of friends, colleagues, and fellow GT students that I know today. Graham was very involved in SGA and other facets of the Georgia Tech community. If there was a major change happening on campus, I believe that Graham had his hand on it somewhere. Jonathan was involved in IFC research and later received the J. Erskine Love Award and scholarship for his achievement in academia and research. These two gentlemen provided me with the network, advice, and motivation to get where I am today, and speaking to you for Mr. GT candidacy. So you may ask, how does talking about why he is a proud Yellow Jacket have anything to do with his admission essay and freshman year? Well, looking back at my aspirations for Tech and the people who have guided me along the way, there is no better way to describe why I am a proud member of the Georgia Tech community. Why not begin with where my admissions essay began, sports. When it comes to sports, GT is family. Since coming to Tech, I have been to football, men's and women's basketball, baseball, lacrosse, and volleyball games, just to name a few. When I am at a Georgia Tech sporting event, I am with my family, and I feel like I am at home. Even when my parents call and ask the next time I am coming home, I respond that I am already here. No one time did I feel more engulfed into the GT family, but during the Miracle on Techwood Drive. Before the missed field goal turned into a game-winning score, you could feel the student section cheering on their family on the field, providing them with the willpower to muster out what I believe was the most miraculous win I have ever attended in sports history. Never has there been a time where I felt like Georgia Tech was one community, all working for one cause, to cheer on our team. I am proud of the opportunities that my GT family takes advantage of throughout their years. To quote the Georgia Tech News, fewer than 10% of U.S. undergraduate students study abroad. Georgia Tech offers more than 80 exchange programs and 30 group faculty-led programs, sending more than 1,200 students abroad each year. Over 54% of Georgia Tech students have an international experience by the time they graduate. Not only is studying abroad a way to decrease tuition if you are from out of state, but allows GT students to experience new cultures and explore the world. As engineers, computer science majors, architecture, business, public policy, and liberal arts majors, and I apologize if I've left any out, we all work to make the world a better place, to live in through innovation, advancement, and there is no better way to learn about other cultures we can help than to experience them themselves. which GT students supersede most other schools, especially since it is not mandatory. This continues over to the amazing opportunities GT students take with internships and co-op opportunities around the globe. In fall 2013, over 1,700 students were co-oping or interning, which is almost 20% of the student population at the time, totaling to more than $10.24 million in earnings in just one semester for the Georgia Tech community. I am proud to say that I have taken full advantage of both of these amazing feats, completing a co-op, an internship, and studying abroad on 2 different occasions. Lastly, for this presentation, but certainly not least, are the campus's amazing student organizations. Georgia Tech has some of the most driven students of any university. I may only be able to support this claim through the organization conferences I have attended, and Georgia Tech seems leaps and bounds more driven than most other schools for bettering their community and innovating new ways to help others or make lives easier for their organizations. With over 500 student organizations at Georgia Tech, students can find their niche here because there is a home for everyone at Georgia Tech. You just have to find it. In my experience, I have been on executive board of 3 different organizations and an active participant in more. These opportunities that I took on allowed me to find my Georgia Tech family, my home within the community. So now, let's bring it back to where we started. Why Georgia Tech? If I haven't convinced you why I am proud of Georgia Tech yet at this point, come to a sporting event, stop by the student engagement office, or just study abroad if you can. Gain the experiences yourself and come back and tell me why you are as proud of Georgia Tech as I am. Being a Mr. GT candidate means everything to me. It means I have the support of my peers that they believe I embody what a true Yellow Jacket should be. In living up to the Georgia Tech motto, progress and service, I believe everything from my involvements to my time dedicated to campus to the amazing opportunities I have learned from provides evidence that I have exceeded my expectations as a high school senior when applying to Georgia Tech, and it is thanks to my peers, the faculty and staff of Georgia Tech, who have guided me to where I am today. I am proud to represent my organization, Alpha Epsilon Pi, as their Mr. GT candidate, and hope you believe I will make a memorable Mr. GT candidate too. Go Jackets!